Oh. Hello, everybody. I pressed start streaming and then went to get the guitar. That's very poor form. Welcome. Glad you're here. We are going to go post this over on the website here. The website is denverguitarorchestra.com. And we also put it on Twitter, and we don't know why. So there's that. Let me put the link on the website goes to... Scroll down right. This is class number 290 since the pandemic began. We used to do this in person with real people, and now we do it virtually. Update and update. Let's see here. View page. Make sure the link is working. 1, 2, 3, 4, and that'll help everybody find their way in here. And yep, so we're all set with that. So that's enough for the website. And then I can close that box and go to Twitter. https:// Jolly, no, it's not Jolly Rider. Denver Guitar Orchestra.com. Tonight we have 4 new Beatles tunes to work on. We have Eleanor Rigby, Hey Jude, Michelle, and Let It Be. Those are the 4 we're going to be working on tonight. Got brand new arrangements of all of them, so we'll see how I did with putting them together, and we'll find out if they're any good. Let's see, what else do I need to talk about? Oh, they arrested Lady Gaga's dog nappers. That's good. And let's see, they shot the guy. They took her dog. It's crazy. All right. Who's here? Vic is in. Sound is good. She's up in Eugene. Dick is here. Good to see you, Dick. Dick, remind me which town you're from. I totally have spaced it. I'm trying to remember every single person I meet online, in case I ever need to, come. In case I ever need to come sleep in your backyard. Elizabeth is in from northern Colorado. Good evening. Sound is good. Connection is good. Yeah, we had a little bit of a challenge with your connection earlier today, Elizabeth. That was kind of a bummer. I guess it's just part of living in this crazy thing we're going through. So, what are you going to do? Hopefully everybody picked up their sheet music already. We have all brand new arrangements tonight, and we'll see if any of them, we'll see how many of them work well without any revisions. I'm going to put this here, guys. I know it drives you a little bit crazy. But I need to be able to see. And so let me see if I can get this where it doesn't shine into your eyes. Let me pull up this one. You could probably live with that, right? Let me see if I can. All right. And you don't really need to see my other computer. Let me get rid of that. Sleep. Just looking at all of the things that cause anything that causes light or sound in these situations make for my tacked together little ensemble of musical activities here. So crazy. New Hampshire. Gosh, how you think I could remember New Hampshire? You think I could remember that? That is unique. All right, glad you're here, Dick. Sorry for keeping you up late. I just realized it's after 10 there. Let's get going. Hi, Evelyn. Sound is good. She's down there in Ecuador. It's good to be here. Good to have you. Good to have you. All right. The little light is okay. Okay, good. All right. Good. Helps me out a ton. All right. Let's grab Eleanor Rigby first. We'll just go alphabetically tonight. And we'll talk about the songs tonight since they're new arrangements, and then we obviously will play in all of our different ways. So Eleanor Rigby, oddly, is 2-chord song. And guys, I really, every time I have a song and it says, you need to put this in C, I busily tried to put all of the other keys together because I hate, I think is probably a fair way to put it. I hate playing in the key of C. I just feel like, there's going to be a G7 and I don't like that. C is such a pain for me. There's always going to be an F show up when you're in the key of C. And so this is in the key of C, and that's because it doesn't work in any of the other keys. And your only other chord in this entire piece is E minor. So it's a 2-chord song for real. And those are hard to come by. You guys know from book 2. Book 2 does not necessarily have the world's greatest songs in it, but they're the only songs I could find that were reasonable and only had 2 chords. So, I'm not about to sing this, but it'll give you a general sense. Oh, look at all the lonely people. Ba 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 bum. Right, does that? Goes back. You play that first 4 measures twice, and then on to measure 5. Starting in E minor. Eleanor Rigby picks up the rice in a church where the wedding has been. Okay. Lives in a dream, waits at the window, and then on to E minor. I got Claire on here, sorry. Wearing a face that she keeps in a jar by the door. Goodness sakes. Door. Who is it for? All the lonely people. Where do they all come from? All the lonely people. Do they all belong? Okay, that's it. And then when you come around the last time through, you're going to play through the thing 3 times. There's 3 sets of verses. When you get around to the end, you'll have that do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do wham thing at the end. And so we'll work on that doodly-doo thing there in measure 4, and then it's the same thing at the end of the song. For those of you guys that are newer, we want to always play through the melody just to make sure it makes sense to you and make sure I haven't made any mistakes. So let's just play the melody, and then this will probably be as good a time as any to talk about the doodly-doos. So from the top, 1, 2, 3, 4. As I was practicing this on my own, that 2 on the 4th string is going to be a nightmare. So my sense is to pull this off, probably think E minor, but actually have your strings, have your middle and ring finger down. You're not going to use this up here, and you just need to lift this up for when you don't need it. But I'm thinking that an E minor on all the strings 1 down is probably going to be more reliable, and then you can hit your third string, lift up, put it back. So that's my thought on that is, do your E minor shape, but just put it on 1 string down and then be prepared to lift up your ring finger when you need to. I don't know how many times I have missed the 2 on the 4th string. Even though it's in the chord, I've been doing this. You could use your pinky to get those 2s as well. But so you'll think that through and come up with the best way to do it. Oh, Pauline made it in. Hey, thanks for seeing these. Thanks for what? Sending these songs. I'm looking forward to another funny week. Yeah, we got nice music tonight. So that's the melody, just the first part, and then trying to get that doodly-doo in. I would focus in. And that's of all of the things, you're going to be able to play the melody, no problem, but getting that little section there to sound close is going to be the hard part, I think. All right, let's go to the verses. Measure 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. And then 3 times through, and then when you come in to measure 23, it's the same ending long, and I see I've added the chord there, and I don't mean to do that for melody. So melody measure 23, that first thing has a chord there. That doesn't need to be there. It's just play the 0, and then of course to wrap it out, same thing as the beginning. Chord at the end. Okay, and fascinating enough, the song is actually in E minor, but your first chord is C, and so you're like, oh, this is in the key of C. No, it's in the key of G. No, it's in the key of E minor. So there's always something there. Those daggone Beatles, they're always giving something to us. All right, let's talk tough uke. We'll walk through it nice and slow, make sure we know where everything is, and then go back and play it. So first thing we're going to do, grab that C chord. And guys, I left that line on the top there to pull the melody through. You should know a lot of times, because of these stuff goes on in layers, sometimes I'll go through and take the time to clean up those ties, but in this case, in most of the time, in this one, it didn't seem to matter in many of the places. But you see how measure 1, I didn't fill in the chord going all the way across, because in reality, these notes here the idea would be those carry all the way through the whole measure on layer 2 of the arrangement, and then you're playing the melody over the top of that. So I think I couldn't find a way to make that not confusing, but whereas that measure 6, I do include the entire chord through the tie, because I think that it's important for you to know you really do want to play all of those notes through there. So I don't know, there may be a little bit of schizophrenic arrangement here, but I think you know what I want you to do, right? Which is strum the C chord and then put in the 2 and the 3 in a little bit. Okay, so measure 1, ready, play. To the beginning, and I've been overemphasizing in my practice that low 2 in measure 4. I just think it sounds kind of cool to hold it just a little bit longer than the other ones. Okay, go. Okay, and then measure 5, go. C chord, I'm holding this E minor, right? And I need the 2 in the melody. So rather than going to the C chord there, I'm just adding my ring finger up on 3 there, and then dropping these guys down. Bend. You can hear the Beatles in that, right? That's a weird. You've got an A note is the melody note under a C chord. It's not supposed to be that way. So you get that really weird jazz feeling, and then hit the 2s. And at measure 9, really put your C chord on. E minor at 10. These 2 and add that ring finger. Yeah, and then this is an A chord on the wrong strings, really. Big C chord. let's do that as the first verse. Let's play this through a couple of times just to make sure it's playing well for you. If you have any questions or whatever, now it's time to ask. Let's give it a try. Second verse. 1, 2, 3, 4. Gary. Time through from the measure 5. Let's go and play. Second ending. All right, what do you think? Right, it's this song. One of their biggest hits ever, and 2 chords, and the melody surprisingly wants to fight with the chords just a little bit through the whole thing. And so that's why you're ending up in non-standard chord shapes. It sort of feel like a standard chord shape, but it's on the wrong strings kind of thing. And I think that it plays pretty well. And so it'll take a while to get it smooth, of course. And you might try, I haven't done much with this, but you might try it as a classical piece, right? So maybe give the claw picking a bit of a try. Don't know if there's a right answer or wrong answer to that, but it is definitely it's a piece that a lot of bands have played, and really there's not a whole lot of music here in terms of, I mean, it basically repeats twice, and then you do the chorus, but I think because the melody notes don't seem to really line up particularly well with the chords, we end up with kind of a complex song there. So hopefully that one's good. Hopefully you're enjoying playing that one. Let me know if you find things that don't feel right to you. As you guys know, some of you grew up in the Beatles era, and you know much more about these songs than I do. And so if you find something in there and it's like, nope, we've got to talk, then don't be shy about sending me an email. You guys never do that though. So all right, let's go grab Hey Jude. there was a movie out recently called, I think it was called Let It Be, and it was a comedy about the Beatles had been forgotten, and this guy was making a ton of money playing Beatles songs, and Ed Sheeran was helping him because he's like, man, you're a great songwriter, and he never fessed up to being stealing all this Beatles music, and then these people came and says, man, we just love what you're doing. We remember the Beatles. There was a couple of scary, weird people that came up to him, and he says, but what's the story on Hey Dude? He goes, oh, that was Ed Sheeran told me to change it from Hey Jude to Hey Dude. In one of the funniest scenes of that whole show. Oh, Ed Sheeran. And of course, Sheeran's in the show. So Jude apparently, reading about this, is John Lennon's oldest son from his previous marriage prior to that woman. And the name of which we do not speak, and apparently Paul McCartney was pretty good friends with or sort of a father figure as well to Julian, I think is his name, John Lennon's oldest son, and so apparently this song is for him, and this song has a lot more meat in it than the other one. So let's get started on this. Yeah, Big says, yeah, this is definitely finger jumping jacks. Yeah. It happens a lot when you have a song that's got, and the Beatles are probably one of the first ones to be really exploring that. And I don't know, maybe not the first ones, but one of the notable ones in terms of notes that are not in the chord, and so they will put those in there in main parts of the song, and it creates this tension, which is sort of interesting as a musician. And I think that's part of the reason why that time in the world, why they were making so much of an impact, because you're coming out of the 50s where everything was doo-wop and rhyming and everything was lined up pretty conveniently, and people were kind of ready to rebel against that a little bit in the 70s and late 60s. And so they're putting in these atonal songs, and you're like, oh, that's cool. All right, Hey Jude, A chord, E chord, E7 is, remember, just lift your ring finger up. You got a D chord down there, in 5. That's your whole first page, but we can live with that, right? Second page, a little more sophisticated. A chord, A7. You're gonna go to a D chord. Is B minor 7. It's really, I just think of it as 2-0-2-0, right? Just, it's definitely a jazz chord, and I'm not entirely positive that it works well in this, but I did check it in a number of different sources, and I think that's close. Okay, and then E7. And those are all your chords. So this one's not particularly chord heavy, but they're a little bit more complete than the other song. And so let's go through and make sure I know about how the song goes. Ready, go. Hey Jude, don't make it bad. Take a sad song and make it better. You guys are so lucky to hear me sing. Remember to let her into your heart. Then you can start to make it better. And then, of course, you repeat that. You're going to go, oh, I didn't clean up the repeat there. We are going to go back to measure 1, play down to measure 7. You're going to skip 8, right? Yeah. And then you're going to want to go on to page 2. So the second time through, and make it better. And then you're going to get this A7. Anytime you feel the pain, hey Jude, refrain. Don't carry the world upon your shoulders. For well you know that it's a fool that plays it cool by making his world a little colder. And then I have to tell you, every time I see this, I see it in jazz a lot, and I see it in the Beatles a lot, and I want to die every single time I see it. Da 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 da. I hate that. Okay, back to measure 1, all the way back to the top. Hey Jude, and then I don't need to sing that whole thing. You know what's going on. But you come all the way down to verse 3 to measure 7 again, and then you can start to make it. And then you go on to page 2 again, better. And then you're going to play that whole third verse, which is the second verse on page 2, down to measure 20. Skip over 21, and you can finish up your da's on 22. And at the end, da 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 dun 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 dun. Hey Jude, or hey Jude, hey Jude, or however you want to end it. That's seems to be the ending. All right, let's play the melody. Just the big parts here. We don't need to play through the whole song. Again, I don't worry about you guys' melody playing, but there is a place where it does go up the neck a little bit. We want to strategize around that. So let's do the melody down through measure 8, and then we'll go on to the second page in a second here. So 1, 2, 3. I should mention they've got 16th notes there, right? In measure 4, bum ba da bum. Okay, so when you see 16th notes, you really got to be on your game. You've got to be really. That's why you don't want to play the song super fast. There's not a ton of 16th notes in here. They are basically either tied or decorative, but you still got to know when you see a 16th note, man, you're going to be hammering your way through that pretty quickly. So just be thinking of. Let's keep going. Ready? Play. Don't you love that? I love that 1 right there. This G chord, G sharp right there. And just it feels like it's definitely, that's when you know you're dealing with a very serious need to resolve that note right there. G sharp, A. Okay, let's go on to page 2, and we'll play through that with just the melody part, so make sure we got all that right. So it's bum. Okay, measure 10, go. Sorry, it goes. My opinion on that doesn't matter, but there it is. And pay attention to the length of your notes through there. That's all. And then you're gonna okay, and then hey, back at the top. Second time you come around, you're at that high 7. Hey Jude. I don't think I understand that ending, but that's apparently the ending. Hey Arlo, welcome in. Been watching the NFL draft. Because Arlo, the Broncos' winning record over the last 5 years makes it important for us to stay on top of it. I like to tease Arlo. Arlo is a big Bronco fan. I grew up with the Broncos. I am aware that they are our local hometown team. I am also aware that the Denver Guitar Orchestra website is in orange and blue because of the Broncos. However, we have had 5 embarrassingly miserable years in a row, and I no longer care. I don't care, and I don't want to hear a single word until they've got 9 wins in a season, and then I will then return as someone interested in what they have to do. I will tell you, we're looking at another losing season too, but it just makes me mental that they're so terrible. All right. Tough uke. Let's get it done. 1, 2, 3. E chord. E7 with a 3. 5. Back to your E7. And back up to the 5. Little bar here. Chord. All 7s. A chord. E7 with that 2 on the top. And that's still that 1 is the coolest part of the whole song. Then you'll repeat the whole first page. Well, let's go ahead and do that. Yeah, let's go ahead and play the top from the top 2 down to 7. 1, 2, 3. Your measure 9 there. Okay, keep going. Oops, sorry, I got the wrong chord on. It's a B minor. It looks exactly like an A7. It's a B minor 7. E7 finally. Stretch. And then you look at that and you're like, oh man, everything was going so great. So this is this crazy E7 contraption here. So you're going to have your index finger on the 5, your middle finger up here on the 6 of the 4th string, and then 2 7s leading out here on strings 1 and 3. And this is a very common chord in ukulele, tin pan alley music, but this is also the up the neck 7th shape that you'll use, and it just lays in there right on the 5. Okay. Gives you a lot of tension. Okay, and then that's gonna just resolve by turning it around. So here we go from the top. Go. Oops. again. That same goofy shape on, and then you can just finish it up. Okay, so there's it's pretty close. I think that B minor 7 I have a ton of questions about, but every source I checked, it's what everybody's recommending, and then I think the ending feels really like blomp. Well, there you go. Thanks for coming. So I don't know. I probably at some point, if I cared about this song more, I would probably come up with a non-Beatles ending to give it a little bit more showbiz. But there we have it. So yeah, I think we're close, right? I think we're pretty close on that one. All right, everybody happy? You guys don't get a chat because it's hard to hold on your guitar and use the chat bar. I know that. But thank you all for being here. All right, let's keep going. How are we doing on time? 37. Okay, I'm trying to divide it into 4 equal sections tonight so we can get to everything. Let it be. Let it be. Let it be. I checked online and I said, what's Paul McCartney's favorite Beatles song? And he has this one that he says is his favorite. I think it's because it's not a good song, and people want people to be like, what? But I can't remember the name of it, but that he always says is his favorite Beatles song. And you listen to it and you're like, what the heck is that? That's not even a song, really. It sounds like a Monty Python sketch. And he's like, yep, that's my favorite. So we won't be doing that song. Let's see. Let's run through our chords real quick. G, when I find myself in A chord, times of trouble. Yep, you got a nice, lovely B minor. Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Isn't that beautiful? That's good right there. And in my hour of darkness, she is standing right in front of me, oh, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. And I didn't give you the B. I didn't put that in there. Okay. If you're playing melody and you want to figure it out, just noodle around till you have it. But I think B, and run it through. Let the chord take care of itself. Let it B minor. B. Let it be. Let it be. Let it be. Whisper words of wisdom. Let it be. And then, so that's the whole song, 3 times through on that. There's 3 times through on that. The only thing that's different when you go down to the third time you come through, skip 23 and 24, go down to 25. Let it be. And then this ending actually is true. True chords, you can hear it in there, but you really are going to end up having, if you want to get it right, even if you're playing chords and singing, when you come around again, you really are going to want to play this tough acts, because it actually sounds kind of cool. If you do these 3, and then 5, 7, 6, which is 5 this one, and then slide that back to 3, and then a D chord, 0, 1, 0. Put a 3 on, A chord, G chord, and finish on a D. So those really work. The tough acts here is how you really want to finish the song. Even if you're on chords, I'd say, all right, it's time for me to do those chords at the end. I'm going to just forget those chords that are up there and strumming those, and I'm going to go down and play that tough acts, and it'll sound really like a legit ending. All right, let's play the melody. 1, 2, 3. And guys, I know that doesn't sound right, but it is. It'll sound fine when you put the chord on. Let it be 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. It's that let it be that doesn't sound right, and I think they purposely have it where it doesn't sound right so that then it can resolve in the next let it be. So let's go from measure, pick up to 17. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, the first note of measure 15 drove me bats for a little while, and I did double check a couple of sources. I think it's right. When you hear that with the chords, it's going to sound fine. So we'll see. All right. Let's give it a try. Let's play tough acts really, really, really slow. If I see something we should talk about, I will. 1, 2, 3. Notice that the note feels weird when we toss the chord under it. It's like, yep, that's exactly how that song goes. Keep going. Pick up to 17. Ready, play. All right, and same thing here at 18. Index on 5, middle finger on 6, 2 leading 7s. I'm lying to you. That's not at all the chord that we're dealing with here. We are dealing with 5, 6, and 2 7s. Okay, so 5, and the 6 is on the 3rd string. That's what's different here. This is not the same chord as we had before. 5 on the 2nd string, 6 on the 3rd string, and then 2 leading 7s on top and bottom there. That's the chord you're looking for there. Okay, and you can hit the open A if you want. Let it. And then This one I find hard. You got to have the G chord and then for some reason you've got an F underneath here, F sharp. Take your 3 and just slide it way under there. I think that's the easiest way to get it. Let's play it one more time through, and this time we'll just play it at the end, and then we'll have this one down as well. From the top, one last time. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I should mention this. When you do the turnaround each time, you know how you begin the song with, when I find myself in times of trouble? There's 2 notes in the pickup. In verses 2 and 3, you only need 1 note, so you don't have to hit that 2-2. And it shows it in the turnaround in measure 24. There's just 1 note, and so it's just 1, 2. But you guys know I like to put in the intro verse on the other, because I think it's easier if you're singing it. You go back to page 1. You're like, oh, what word was I supposed to sing at the end of 24? So I just put those up there in parentheses, and. So you only need to hit the 2 once on verses 2 and 3. Okay, and let's do that now. Verse 3. 1, 2, 3. First inning like I did. The second inning is the same pretty much. And then let's do that ending. Make that D shape on 7, 8, 7. Pluck those. And then 5, 7, 6. That's your D minor shape on 5. Same shape on 3. D chord. C chord. Oops, where am I at? I'm on the wrong 3. A chord, all 5 strings. G chord. And you can also we go through and try strumming them, so try that. Ready? Play. Let me try it one more time, just show you what I think it's supposed to do. That's a cool ending. I think that ending is way better than Hey Jude. So what do you guys think? Coming along, making some sense? Arlo is busy double checking where the next quarterback is in the draft, so he's probably not He's probably not as focused in on his D chords as he needs to be. All right, let's see. There's Let It Be. How we doing on time? We got just enough time to squish in a little Michelle. Let's go grab that one. We're going to get through all 4 of them. That's exciting. Of all of the ones that have a legit chord progression, it's this one. If you look through there, you're like, oh boy, there's going to be a lot of work. And it is. So I think, though, that probably playability-wise, there's only a couple of places in here that I think is like, oh gosh, this is really, really brutal. Thanks, Vic. Vic is just so far she's surviving the arrangements. Let's run through our chords real quick. A chord. Ready? Go. Michelle, and this is just a little. It's a D minor 7. It feels like just a mini F. My bell. These are words that go together. Okay, so you're gonna do your diminished shape. Go together well. B7. My Michelle. Hey, Aaron. They sound nice so far, Pauline says. Good. Aaron made it in. Extremely disappointed with the Bronco. Aaron, I don't want to be a wet blanket, but I think you should just plan on being prepared to be very disappointed in the Broncos and put the period at the end of it at that point. They've told you who they are. All right, measure 7. Here we go. Michelle, ma belle, sont les mots qui vont très bien ensemble, très bien ensemble. I love you, I love you, I love you. I can't sing that. Probably you can't. That's why we're instrumentalists. But notice they're triplets. Love you, I love you, I love you. You know how the song goes. And then C sharp, C7. That's all I want to say. Until I find a way. I will say thee. And then this I find is a very hard chord to get to. C augmented. Only words I know that you'll understand. And then you go back and repeat. Go back and repeat. Second time you come through, same thing. By the way, that A minor 6th in measure 20, about 99% sure that I could not find a decent chord for that. You may want to just exit out. That's what it's supposed to be. It just seems to really be shaky whether that's going to work there or not. Eventually, I may find a better substitute for it, but right now, I'm just warning you, don't overemphasize that A minor 6th. Go to 23. I love you. Okay, when you get to the end of 27, you'll go back. That's the end of the second verse. Okay, so the end of the first verse is 22, you go back. The end of the second verse is here at 27, you go back. The third time through, you don't play that little section, so thankfully you only play section 23 through 27 one time, and then the third time you come through, you're going to skip down to measure 28, which is the same as the beginning. Michel, ma belle, sont les mots qui vont très bien ensemble, très bien ensemble. I will say the only words I know that you'll understand, my Michelle. Okay, so that's your chords. Like I say, I don't like that A minor 6th. Outside of that, I can live with all of these chords. And then we don't need to play the melody. You guys know how to play the melody. We don't have time for it, but let's just walk through the tough uke here. Tough axe. What instrument is in my lap? Strum the A chord. Let's do it. Ready, play. Grab your D minor 7th. G chord. And then you have this 1, 2. Go ahead and grab your full F sharp diminished because you're going to need it in a second. And then slide up to 4. Isn't that cool? So just put the full diminished shape on. It'll make it easier for you. And then 5 is E. B7. Measure 7. Bar on 5, ring on 7. This is the hard moment. You got to get your 7 down on that first string. You got to get your pinky underneath this 7. Leave your bar at 5. That's correct, right? And then take your 7 off. Okay, now go grab your C sharps or your C7. F chord. E7. We have on 5. A minor with the 3. Take your pinky out. A minor again. The tough axe sounds fine going through 20. I just think that the chord that I'm building it off of seems mighty fishy. And then, so we get to 22, go back and repeat all the way down to here. So there's not a first and second repeat there. Play all the way down through here. Then let's go into 23 and do that little section, which is instrumental. 5, 6, 5. G chord. And then you want to again put that F sharp diminished on. E7. Takes you all the way back to measure 7, doesn't it? No, it takes you all the way back to 13. So that's where your sinuous is. Sorry, I was thinking it goes back to 7, but it doesn't. So and I even wrote it on 27 because I knew I'd get confused. So at 27, I want you, I want you, I want you, I want you. So that's the third verse down there at 13. Okay, so then you'll play back in through 13. When you get from 13 to 22, at the end of 22, you're going to skip down to 28, and that's where I'd like to start. Okay, so 28, 1, 2, 3, 4. because I think the ending gets the ending we end up on A major, even though we've been playing A minor through most of the entire song. It starts in A major and it ends in A major, but you're pretty much hanging out in A minor through the whole song. I don't know why they do that. I probably am not that smart, so I'm like, I don't know, but that doesn't seem like that's the easiest way to get things done. But yeah, you're driving all these A minors around, and then you end up on a happy note. So yeah, so I think again, this is a good arrangement. I got one chord in the whole group that I just really dislike greatly, but I solved it in the tough act. So probably not. Only a few of you are singers anyway, and probably you can work your way around that A minor 6 just fine. So there you go, guys. That's 4 new ones. I got the list from last week of other ones you might want to do. I know my next project that I'm going to put my hand on, I'm going to take Octopus Garden and Yellow Submarine and stick them together. By the way, I should mention before you run off, don't run off, don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. You get a free puppy. No. I am not going to be here next week. So on Thursday we're headed down to see my mother-in-law, and so next week we're off, and unfortunately the week after that as well, because I have my condo association thingamabob. So what I'm going to do is, and I will notify you via email, so make sure you're on the email list and that you are getting those. A lot of times go into your spam folder, so do whatever you need to make that not happen. But I will be missing next week, and no, I'm lying to you. The following week I'll be back, and then the weekend after, the Thursday after that, I have my condo board, and then I think we might take a little bit of time off and start. We might. I don't know. You guys will tell me what you think. I kind of like the idea of continuing to go. I don't want these Beatles tunes to get stale, so I want to keep working on them. Maybe we won't take any time off in May, and I'd like to start talking to those of you locally about small groups starting to get together on Tuesdays to just sort of hash through some ideas and things that we're working on. And so anyway, I think the only thing in your immediate future is one, Aaron, if you forgot to send me an email to get the PDFs. I try to remember everybody. Sometimes I forget somebody, and Aaron, I obviously forgot to send it you in the bulk. But yeah, send me a note and I'll get you your PDFs. I'm going to, as quickly as I am able, put up a couple more pieces for you. My goal is about 24 of these, somewhere in that neighborhood, because I want lots and lots to pick from when we get ready to have the concert, whenever we have our next concert. Now we haven't set a date yet, and then we can talk about here locally how many of you guys are starting to feel comfortable enough to get together, how many of you want to, and then how we are going. And I know already how we're going to be interfacing the local meetup with the exterior, with the, those of you that are not in Denver. That's going to work just slick as a whistle. I got the whole system set up right here in front of me right at the moment, and all I got to do is turn one camera around. And then there was something else very fascinating I wanted to tell you. I can't remember what it is, but yeah. So that's where we're at. I'm exhausted. I just 4 brand new high-level tunes in one night should make you sleep well, right? That's a lot of music, a lot of thinking. And just put this into your routine of the practice, and make sure all of those are staying fresh. You can't play through all of them every single day, so pick 1 or 2 at a time and get through as many as you can each day, so you just can't kind of continue to rotate through them. There's a couple of Beatles tunes you probably hate and that you don't like playing, but play them anyway, just to keep them fresh. And pretty soon, I notice this most noticeably in harmonica, where my skill set is the lowest of anything that I do. That just by playing through those songs every day, even if it's not necessarily the same song, my reading gets faster, my general sense of confidence gets better, and I'm playing pretty well in there now, just because I'm not afraid of the music. And I think when we get new pieces of music, it is terrifying, but you play through it a little while and you're like, okay, I've seen this before, I understand this, I know how this moves and all that. So stay on top of this. We've got lots more good arrangements to come. I want to have a really, really impressive amount of really great music for this program and for you guys. And then somewhere in, I don't know, September, August, September or October, I'm going to switch over to start writing some Spanish music for us for the following concert, and we will finish out our time, building these Beatles tunes into something. So that's my plan. Hope you guys are doing great. I hope that you played well enough to make you not quit tonight. And yeah, so there's that. Send me an email if you have questions. Remember, no meeting next Thursday night, and I will see all of you the following Thursday night. And thank you so much for being here. I'm really delighted you were able to participate. And let's see, where did I leave off here? Evelyn says, Beatles songs are wonderful. Thank you again for your arranging songs. I love doing it, Evelyn, and I thank you for playing them. And guys, obviously, if you ever have any challenges with any of the sheet music, send me a note, and we'll talk about it online. Nowhere Man. Okay, I'll add that to our list, Vic. Nowhere Man. You've got to hide your love away. I don't even think I know that song. Nowhere Man, hide your love away. Okay. Nowhere Man, and hide your love away. Hide your love away. Okay. Got them on the list, Vic. Well, we'll see how many make it, right? Go Broncos. Heck yeah. Here's the thing. I know just enough about sports too. I do like having them on. I really do. When the games are well played. I can't watch college because they're not well played, and I can't watch bad sports. Right? There's so much bad sports. But when it gets around to playoff season in baseball or playoffs in basketball, it's amazing to watch. I don't like hockey because I just don't get the game. But football. It's not that I'm a Broncos hater. But if you're going to be in a town like this where every damn fool in the world will show up, if you put out beer, they're going to come, right? And our owners in this town, the baseball owners and the football owners, they know you guys are coming because you're going to come to the game no matter what business they put on the field, and it's just sad. And it's the local sports guys participate in that just as much as everybody. They're just like, oh, the Broncos, and you're like, no, there's nothing to talk about with the Broncos. They haven't won in 5 years. So that's my rant. Just because they serve beer doesn't make them a good team. But yeah, we still root, right? Go Broncos. I have a whole website in orange and blue because of them. So I wish they would make it I wish the Denver Guitar Orchestra website wasn't better than them. Let's see. Pauline, thanks for these songs. Are fun to learn. I appreciate you taking the time to arrange them. There, it's been a joy. Let's see. Blackbird correct picking patterns. Dick, I don't really get overly focused in on specific picking patterns, generally speaking. Here's how I take this, and you're relatively, you haven't gotten a full, you haven't heard me enough times say this, but I like for you to find the way you think the music sounds best. And so I never want you to take my sheet music or any songs that I've arranged, or frankly any song ever, and try to play it the right way. I want you to look at what's on the paper. I want you to use that as advice. I want you to find the thing that makes sense for you, and then and try different things. And so when we talk about, a lot of times this comes up in ukulele all the time. Hey, what's the strum pattern for this song? Well, I always look at them and say, well, what do you think it is? What works best for you? What do you like? What sounds the best? And of course I get blank stares back like, what are you talking about? And just tell me the answer. There really isn't an answer when we're doing fingerstyle arrangements of a full band, right? The band itself may have a certain way of doing things, but when we take 4 guys, one's on drums, one's on all the 4 instruments, and we smash them down and put them onto 6 strings, we have to make compromises, and I make them when I make the arrangements, and then you also have to make them as a player. So find a way that makes the most sense for you. I will write in the tablature what I think is a really solid, the best fingerstyle arrangement I could possibly think of that still playable by an average or slightly above average player. And so take my tough axe arrangement as pretty good advice. But if you come up with a better idea, absolutely knock it out. Give it a try. See what happens. So, yeah. So there we go. That's my thoughts on picking batter and stick. And I think I don't think I'm really swimming. I'm swimming against the tide a little bit in education, in the sense that in education we like things to be very prescriptive and very described. But in art, we want the opposite of that. We want, hey, show us where we're headed, and we'll figure out the pathway. So as artists, I want you to feel brave to be like, here's what's on the paper, but that's not. Paul didn't write that. Gary wrote that, based on what Paul wrote. I'm gonna add a little bit of my own stuff in there, and so feel free to experiment with that. I think it's important. Hopefully that answers your question. I hope. Elizabeth, love the Beatles. Yeah, heck yeah. Good to see you, Elizabeth. So glad you're here. We are irrelevant. Probably. Have you ever seen a picture of the Milky Way galaxy? They're always artistic. It's this big on your screen, right? And there's eight gajillion stars, and we're one of those stars, right? We're this little thing. And then you think of all the stars in there. There are, for every star that's in that big old cluster, there are hundreds of millions of galaxies like that. Hundreds of millions per star, right? So there's billions and billions and billions and trillions of galaxies out there. The Hubble Space Telescope has looked really deep into space, and it's incredible how many galaxies are out there. So when you think about the bigness of what we're a part of, and we think about where we are, yeah, it probably doesn't matter that much what the Broncos do. And so we have to make up that they are very important, and so we do. And it's all good fun, right? All right. Let's see. The Broncos, that is. DGO is awesome. Oh, yeah. Well, DGO is awesome. I mean, let's be honest, we're killing it over Andromeda Galaxy. I haven't heard a word of it. I haven't heard a thing they've produced that's any good. Arlo. Games are a social event too. Yeah, they are a social event, right? I have friends at the stadium, and I have known for many years, and the only place I see. Yeah, I mean that's true. That's true. I think I told you guys this already. I've been to a bunch of Rockies games, and I'm not a big fan of baseball until the ALCS and the NLCS, and then I watch like it's important all the way into the World Series. Like I just love the playoffs in baseball. So I don't obviously care about the Rockies because they're never there, but been to a bunch of games down there because you go, it's fun. Go get a hot dog, sit around, pretend you know what the is going on. And one time my buddy called me up, and his dad is a serious Rockies fan, and we had to sit right behind home plate. And then you're like, oh yeah, I can see why this game is great. This is awesome. So change your perspective, and all of a sudden, yeah, now this game is important. It's really, really, so getting to sit in the right place made a big deal. Christy says, yeah, nice save, Aaron. Now just remember that you're standing on a planet that's evolving and revolving at 900 miles an hour, right? Just remember that your existence here is really made up in your own head as being important, and so we have to go with that idea. And so the Broncos are important, and you're important, and DGO is important, and all this stuff is very important. And we have to just believe that, because the evidence and the mathematics prove very clearly the opposite. So I feel like that's the best way to live your life, just in this delightful fantasy about how important we all are. All right, guys, I hope you have a wonderful night. Thanks for being here, and I will see some of you tomorrow at 10 a.m. We have a rather significant and lengthy concert that we're digging in. And yeah, guitar is very important. Aaron, Aaron. Although Aaron could also write banjo is my happy place, and and then we'd have to fight him. So we got a concert tomorrow. We have a nice weekend coming up. It's supposed to be a good chance to get outside, guys. Please make sure you're getting your vaccines. I don't know if I'm going to want to see you unless you have a vaccine. in person, face to face at the orchestra. So if that's going to be a challenge, I want to start a conversation with you, because I know there is some people out there who are questioning the importance of the vaccine, and I need to tell you I don't question it even a little bit. And so in terms of getting together with the group and all of that, I want to make sure we're safe, and especially since a lot of us are not exactly spring chickens anymore. Aaron's a kid, but the rest of us are in that age group where this virus means a lot, and so I don't think I want you to come around unless you got your vaccine. And so, but I'm also willing to discuss that with you and have you explain to me why I'm misunderstanding something. So, so let's keep moving forward with all that. Thank you for everything you do. Thanks you for making guitar important in your life, and we will continue to do as much as we can with making me better and you better and guitar better, and doing it in a way that makes sense, and getting rid of the stuff that doesn't make sense, right? So Vic has both of her shots. Yeah, I do too. That second shot turned out, I was like, yeah, I'm fine. And I apparently was not fine. It's not that bad, right? And then yeah, don't watch. Well, everybody gets their media from someplace, and I'm not critical of you getting your media from anywhere that you want to get your media, as long as it's not nonsense, right? And so, Aaron, are you you can't be 47. I don't think that's true. Aaron, you're a liar. Aaron's about 22, I think. I don't know. You're not 47. If you're 47, I really am going to fight you. I'll lose, but I will. I have no problem punching a 47-year-old who looks like he's 30. Um, um, a youngster, Aaron. He can't be 47. Honestly, he can't be. um, yeah, get your media wherever you get your media. It doesn't, I just make sure it doesn't turn you into a weirdo. Make sure that you can believe stupid stuff. Nobody cares if you believe stupid stuff, but if you use that stupid stuff to make yourself into something that's weird, I don't do that. Like Fox News. Easy, Aaron. All right, guys, have a wonderful day. I don't watch Fox News. I do watch the local Fox channel, 655. Channel 13 or whatever, for their evening news, because I got a crush on Aaron. What are their names? The guy and the girl. They're super nice. Shoot, I'm not gonna remember their names. Jeremy Hubbard and Aristea Brady. That's the two. I got a crush on those two guys, so I like to watch their news at night. And they don't lean political. So, all right, I am, bro. Are you really 47? Aaron, that's ridiculous. That's crazy. You look so young. Oh my gosh, I thought you were 30. All right, so good for you. Good. I look like I'm 900. I feel like I'm 912, and it is what it is. So, guys, I'm rambling. You're rambling. The fact that you're still here is weird. Have a wonderful evening. I will see all of you tomorrow. I'm exhausted, and yeah, it is different, right? Local news. Do you ever think about local news? Here I am talking for free on your TV on 3 or 4 different stations, multiple times a day. There's an entire newscast telling you everything that's going on, nationally, internationally, mostly local stuff. Real people doing their real job, waking up every morning at a crazy hour to get up there and tell you what the weather's going to be, and the traffic's going to be, and what's going on in the community, and what things you got to worry about, what things are awesome, every single day, and it's free. It's incredible. It's the greatest thing ever. And here, and there it is every day. And then and then somehow it turns into this weird thing over on the cable TV. And I'm like, that's not news. That's not at all what news is. That's some weird entertainment thing to lean to sell you, I don't know, some type of advertising. He is a youth. You should see. It's crazy. All right, guys, have a wonderful night. That's enough. Peace.